how do you set boundaries? A lot of people have trouble setting boundaries, and look, realistically, the quality and how good you are at setting boundaries is a reflection of how good your relationships are. If you're not very good at setting boundaries, you're not gonna have very good relationships. It's as simple as that. If you wanna have good relationships, you've gotta be good at setting boundaries. How do you set a boundary? It's not overly complicated, but what's more important is the severity. How strong do you set a boundary? Not every boundary is, you better listen to me unless I'm gonna shoot you. You know what I mean? It's the severity of the boundary setting, and then also, what do you do after the boundary? There's also lots of different sorts. So you can set a boundary or you can have a hard conversation. Very different thing. You set a boundary when you feel disrespected. Easy. A boundary, the purpose of a boundary is to honor oneself, not to disrespect others. If other people feel offended when you set a boundary, it's not your concern. A boundary is simply to honor yourself and the value you have when you do it when you feel disrespected. Simple. You do it when you feel disrespected. That could be anything from someone saying an offensive joke and you going like this. That's a soft boundary. A soft boundary is when you don't say anything and you just use facial expressions, maybe hands expressions going, like that. School teachers are fantastic at soft boundaries. They go, and their face says, "Do you just say that?" And you go, zip. You know the look I'm talking about. Some people are fantastic at soft boundaries. If you're really good at soft boundaries, you actually don't ever need to have a hard boundary unless you're dealing with someone who you shouldn't be dealing with. A lot of people think, well, I need to really become good at setting boundaries. How many boundaries do you think you need to set with your ideal partner? Not that many. Not that many, really. If you think, I need to set tons of boundaries with my ideal partner, they're not your ideal partner. At best, your ideal partner will need some soft boundaries and a lot of nurturing the behavior you want to see. If you need to really set really hard boundaries with your ideal partner, they're not your ideal partner, and they're probably a fairly toxic person who shouldn't be in your life anyway. We've all been there, don't do that. So at most, you should be setting soft boundaries. A medium boundary would be something like they say an offensive joke or call you a name, trying to banter or tease you, and you go, I don't like that. Hey, you see that new ice cream shop downtown? It's really cool. That's a boundary. That's how you set a normal boundary, a nice medium boundary. You stood up for yourself? No, I don't like that. Change the subject and change the emotion. Some people can change the subject, but they don't change the emotion. The emotion's the important part. If you change the subject, but you're still angry, they're gonna sense that, and then they're gonna start defending themselves in their head. You got less than 5 seconds. You have about 3 seconds. That's it. If it takes you longer than 3 seconds to set a boundary, they start defending themselves in their head. And when they start defending themselves, what thoughts go through their head? It wasn't that serious. Why are they being so harsh? Man, this person's, they're so extreme. They're so sensitive. They start defending themselves and the boundary's gone. That's why you gotta do it quick. So quick that they don't defend themselves in their brain, and then they quickly change the subject. No, don't do that. Hey, what's that over there? And you change the subject and the emotion. So their subconscious just goes, oh, don't do that. What's over there? And they've passed the stage. That's the best way to do it. And the trick is doing it fast. Don't go up to them and say, do you know last week when you said that made me feel really bad. You took way too long and you're making a conversation out of it, and it turns into a lecture. You're lecturing them at that point, which is not a boundary at all. You gotta be really on the ball, which means you've got to practice. You gotta have high standards within yourself. You gotta have high confidence and courage. You gotta have that standard really high. So that second that happens, go, don't say that. That's rude. Hey, what's that over there? And you instantly, boom. At the other end of the spectrum, you got really extreme boundaries, which are almost ultimatums. If you continue with this attitude, I'm gonna call the police and things are gonna get very serious very quick, which I wouldn't really consider a boundary. That's not the boundary we're talking about. If you find yourself in your life having to set these boundaries, you are 100% in the wrong environment, around the wrong people, and you've made some critical errors in your judgment, 100%. One of the most important skills that you can ever achieve as a human is choosing the right people to spend time with. You must use your brain and choose the right people to hang around, unless your life's not going to be very good. It's very important. So that's how you set a boundary, guys, from very soft boundaries to medium boundaries to the very extreme. Use it wisely, okay? Be fast with it. And remember, boundaries are there to honor ourselves, not to offend others. If people get offended, that's their business, but it's about honoring yourself and your value. Do it fast, do it aggressive. Remember, you deserve the utmost respect. Don't tolerate less. If you like this video, guys, subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, book in a call if you need help. I'm here to help.